Welcome in, guys. How's everyone doing? Give me a minute, y'all. How's everyone doing? So, for those who do not know, if you're not in our Facebook group or our Discord group, ABC 3340 was out at the family's property with a drone. And let me tell you, those photos were eye-opening. Eye-opening. And I did speak with Grace to make sure it was okay to post them. But I do have a video up. My most recent video has the photos in it. But I'll tell you, it was definitely an eye-opener. That was one massive hole on that property they dug. A massive hole. And it wasn't shallow. So the new update is ABC 3340. Yes. Flew a drone over the property. And like I was just saying, those photos are a real eye-opener. A real eye-opener. I don't know if they'll fit in the screen. I can try. Here, I'll do it this way. That way I can fit them in the screen. Look at that hole. Yes, this is what law enforcement we don't know if they found him. But that is a big hole. We'll talk, see if we can look at that. Yes, that is what law enforcement dug up out there. And these are photos that were provided through ABC 3340 News in Alabama. So for those who are just joining and do not know anything about this case, say something in the comments. We don't know if they found him. So, if you don't know anything about this case, put a 1 in the chat. Anything about it. Wow. Wow. Alright, so I guess we'll start from the beginning then. So, on December 8th of this year, a car accident took the life of this precious little girl right here and Stephen Bradley Collins. And the only reason why that accident took place is Stephen was driving 92 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone, with no sign of slowing down, no sign of trying to avoid the accident. As you can see here, this is where the accident occurred. You don't see any ruts in the grass. You don't see any signs of stopping. And he slammed head on into a tree. This is what the truck looked like. Now, with that being said, after the accident occurred, law enforcement reached out to the family reached out to law enforcement, Turkheim, asking about Kahleb. And once they asked about Kahleb, law enforcement did go back out to that accident site and conducted an 8-day search, right? To no avail, they did not find Kahleb in that search. Now, after they concluded their search, they found out that nobody's seen Kahleb since September 4th of this year. At that time, they placed the alleged grandfather into custody for failing to report a child missing, and that child suffered bodily harm or death. And it also stated in the criminal complaint that Kahleb suffered injuries and was removed to... Yes, the mom is the only one that survived the accident. Kahleb was removed from the property and taken to an unknown location, and nobody reported him missing. So, John Elton Bailey was placed under arrest. After that occurred, law enforcement did go back out to the property multiple times. As you can see here, this is all law enforcement vehicles here. Oh, that's my backyard. To no avail. They did, at least they haven't released anything. If they found anything. The alleged mother was finally arrested. And she was charged with aggravated child abuse, first-degree domestic violence, abuse of a corpse, and criminally negligent homicide. And the criminally negligent homicide is connected to Riley's death, that precious little girl, because they did not have anybody in restraints. Riley was not in a car seat. She was not buckled. And tragically, she lost her life. Now, since this woman has been arrested, and I use the term mother very, very extremely loosely because that is no mother. Now, if you give me a second, I will play the criminal complaint for Bailey. Wendy Pamela Bailey. And I must warn you, trigger warning. It is extremely graphic. If you can't handle it, it's best to step out of the live stream.
Meet Trump's new bodyguard, which is definitely unexpected.
Hang on. So this here is going to be the criminal complaint on Bailey. Now, trigger warning.
Good morning, everyone. I do need to give a trigger warning before I read this news article. It is very graphic. So please listen at your own risk. The documents state that Wendy Pamela Bailey failed to report known physical child abuse and knowingly acted in blatant disregard to the abuse that occurred to the 15-month-old Kahleb Collins by his father, Stephen Bradley Collins, during July of 2024. The court document filing alleges Bailey failed to intervene on more than 2 occasions that Kahleb was physically abused by torturous means, such as being bound with rope, physically assaulted, being bound by rope from a loft with blood and bruising present. The filing says there are photographic evidence. In the abuse of a corpse charge, the documents state that the corpse of Kahleb Collins was treated in a way that outraged ordinary family sensibilities. The document says after the death of Kahleb, his body was placed into a bag and stored in the outside storage building for a brief period of time. The records state the final disposal was in an unknown location. Documents related to the domestic violence charge against Wendy Bailey report Kahleb's father, Stephen Collins, sent Bailey a text message saying that he was going to unalive the child. That was followed by photographs of Kahleb hanging aloft.
So you understand, this was very hard to read.
Text messages was then sent from Stephen Collins hanging aloft with a rope with blood on his body. Text messages was then sent from Stephen Collins saying he was sick. Move. And I'm so sorry. Another text saying he is moving. To which Wendy replied, he just looks wore out and tired and hurt. Hopefully that's all. This is a tragic situation.
So, that was by far one of the hardest things I had to read. The only other one that came close to that was Elijah Vu's criminal complaint. But I'll tell you, like we've been saying repeatedly until we're blue in the face, everybody needs to be held accountable. Everyone. Wendy and John need to be held accountable. Steven took the coward's way out. So the only ones that are left to be held accountable is the Department of Human Resources in the state of Alabama. And I'll explain why. John Bailey had guardianship of these two children. And to this day, I will never understand how on earth they were able to put those children under the guardianship of a violent, convicted criminal. So, DHR's requirements is they have to run a criminal background check, right? So, with that being said, they obviously did not run that background check, or if they did, they just ignored it, because someone in Louisiana went to the courthouse and picked up court documents for me for the grandfather, John Elton Bailey, right? And I kid you not, he's got multiple aggravated assault charges with weapons. He's got multiple domestic violence charges, hit and run charges, street pharmaceutical charges, DWIs, battery charges. And those are just the ones that I requested. That's just what I requested. The lady said there's more, but it would take a long time for her to gather all of those documents. And that's just one county in Louisiana. Keep that in mind. Just one county. So how on earth, how could these two children be placed under the guardianship of somebody with a criminal background like that? But it gets worse, guys. So we did some digging. I had a Facebook group up, and we created a chat specifically for DHR failures. And when I tell you, we found 11 other news articles where children were either left in an unsafe environment or removed and placed into another unsafe environment. And all of those children passed away. So this would make 13 children that we know of, that died because of lack of doing their job and placed in unsafe environments. So they do need to be held accountable. I know me personally, and I know other people in the group have sent emails to the governor's office. I have been sending fax messages every day trying to catch their attention. Now, we do know that the governor did allocate funds to victims of child abuse to Fayette County, Alabama. And that is the same jurisdiction that this occurred. But that's not enough, guys. It's not about the money. It's about the governor holding these people accountable. If they don't hold them accountable, it's going to continue to happen. more children will be failed by the system. And this is just Alabama. This is not just in Alabama that this is happening. So, Caitlin, I just gave the overview. If you want to get the full overview, my top 3 pinned videos will tell you everything. Now, Gracie from ABC 3340, they did fly a drone over that property today. And I did get permission from Gracie to show those photos as well as put them in a video. And these are the photos I'm talking about. Anything stand out to you guys? So those were the photos that ABC 3340 took. We know law enforcement went out there digging up the property. Now we know how much they dug up. So, if you ask me, I personally believe they found something and they're waiting for DNA. Yes, they have been charged. So law enforcement does already know that Kahleb is not with us. So this Bluegrass, this is the missing child alert out of Glen Allen, Alabama. So Brittany, ABC 3340 flew a drone over the property. I'll send you the photos on Facebook. Yes, the one with the car wreck. Yep. Hang on. Give me a second, guys. Who's in here that can come answer questions real quick? I gotta go help my little one real quick. Is Bree in here? She just came in. Hey, just answer questions real quick. I gotta go get the little one something.
Sorry, I was trying to get a call to go away and it wouldn't go away. Okay, so the synopsis on the case is that these two were the little girl was in a car accident with her not I don't even like using the term mom and dad, but she was in a car accident. She was unalived in the accident, as was the sperm donor, and then the incubator was left alive. She is currently in jail. When that all happened, they found out the little boy was missing. He'd been missing, but now they have sufficient evidence to say that he has passed and is no longer alive. And we have pictures of.
Hang on. I'm back. Bailey.
Okay.
Okay, so ABC 3340 flew a drone over the property, and these are the photos. Hang on.
So what was is because that hole wasn't there, was it?
No, they dug that hole.
Yeah.
So if you ask me personally, I think they found something, and they're waiting for DNA.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was saying as far as with the repeat of the dogs and then them obviously going back and sifting through and then coming back and sifting through again. I think they found something the first time, which led them to go back to try and find some more.
But I mean, you see how deep that hole was?
Yeah.
That was a deep hole.
Yeah. Which does, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he was in the hole, if that's where he was laid to rest at, that would contradict the sifting through the burn pile in my head.
Right.
Why would the burn pile be so interesting if we have a body?
Maybe other evidence.
I don't know. What other evidence would be as far as you're talking about the burn pile?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a body, you don't really need much other evidence because you already have it on the text messages and the pictures that were talked about. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, see, I was thinking either clothing, maybe the burnt bag, other things to connect those other charges against Bailey, Wendy Bailey. Like,
Yeah, I really, and I'm not trying to make a joke, but I really hope the next case, unlike the last two cases, this one and the one prior does not have Bailey in any realm of it.
I know, right? That's like that Amber Alert that went out in um Tennessee. So that Amber Alert, the child's name was what was it? Elton Bailey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just a weird coincidence.
It's been a weird coincidence. But no, I mean, like I said, if they have a body, then really blankets, clothing, none of that. Doesn't. It would be. It wouldn't be that a. I don't want to say null and void, but what would be the purpose of it? You have a body.
Right. Now, I'm not saying that they found a body in that hole by no means.
Right.
Because there's multiple holes on that property. They dug multiple holes.
I want to say Jennifer. And this is, I'll say this and I'll say it out loud. If that is talked about, I will remove myself from the live.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, just because it's too graphic and we've already been there, done that, and it doesn't need to be repeated. In my opinion.
So, Gian, I mean, anything's possible, but there's no proof that they had another child.
Maybe they dug the hole after the burn pit.
Or that's the original hole. Remember when they went out there the first time they were digging a hole?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I asked if that was like a new hole or
Because I counted 3 different holes. One near the house, one out in the field, and one over by the burn area.
so for me, for them to, if those are holes dug by LE, then that would make me believe that somebody said, whether it was the grandpa or the mom, whoever, said that the body was on the property. And they're getting conflicted, like, well, he told me it was here, he told me it was here, and they're that's the only thing that makes sense to my head, and I'm not trying to assert anything.
Now, someone said, or the dogs alerted on all 3 of those areas.
Yeah, but I mean that's a possibility, but I would think that they would have already I mean, well, we don't know when those holes are dug, so I mean,
Yeah,
that is a
no.
possibility.
The only one we know about is the Don. We're not going to talk about that. The only one we physically were able to see them doing is the fire pit. That's the only one we were able to see because it was being broadcasted. So I don't know where the other. Katrina, find what? They have. We don't know if they found him. Oh, okay, yeah. So, Bailey, you remember the not the last search, not the day that they were out there searching the burn pit. You remember them digging in front of the shed?
The first or the second day?
The day
The first
that.
day they had dogs out there?
Yeah, no, when they were sifting by the burn pit.
Okay, so that was the second time they were out there. Yeah.
Okay, that's the day that they dug the one by the shed.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the missing child alert out of Alabama, Kahleb Collins. See the ones that are catching my attention. Okay, so let me go back here. You got one by the house, and I don't remember seeing them do this one.
But would we have, where the view of the house, i.e., the camera, would we even be able to see if they
Let me-
or if they did dig there?
Okay, let me see if that's the front yard or the backyard. That's the backyard. No, we would not have been able to see that.
Yeah.
That's
None
like
of
they
them
said,
holes we
like the
would have been able
backyard.
to see.
Do what, Bree?
I was fixing to say from the pictures that we had looked at of the house, it looked like the backyard.
It is the backyard because you can see the truck at the top corner up there. That's the front yard, and then you got the hole down. You can't even see my finger. You got this hole near the back of the house, and then this hole by the shed.
Yeah.
And then let me see if I can pull up the ones with the over by the burn pit. I got to use my hand because it's you don't get the whole picture. Is that the one? No. Is that the one? Okay, so this one's over by the burn pit.
That's a massive hole.
Well, I can understand the by the burn pit. I can understand that. The other ones aren't making sense. And I mean, granted, yeah, it could be areas that the dogs alerted on and they wouldn't checked. But yeah, the other ones don't make sense.
All right. That's a trash pile. Okay, that's the one by the burn pit right there. This one's right in the center of the backyard. This is that same one, only a zoomed in photo of it. And then you got the one right behind the house over there. Hang on. That's the back slider door.
No, they don't have court until February 11th.
So court is February 11th. That's the newest thing, other than the photos by ABC 3340. They flew a drone over the property. That's what we're talking about tonight. The mother's in jail. All is on. And I use that term very, very, very lightly. Because she knew what was going on and did not report it. Because we got a constitution, cheap girl. She doesn't have to talk. And that's what sucks. Now, for those who are new and don't know nothing about this case, my top 3 pen videos will tell you everything. But I will warn you, the third pen video is very graphic. Trigger warning. So, my problem is, Grandpa's gonna get maybe 10 years max for that failing to report a child missing. And if he knew about this the whole time, he deserves more charges. And I don't think he's going to get them. They would have to have concrete evidence to get it to stick. See, the failing to report a missing child charge is very easy for them to convict him on because he was the guardian of the children. There's no way he can get out of that one. I don't care if he's got 40 attorneys. He had guardianship. It's his responsibility to report those children missing. Yes, he was responsible for these children. 100%. I hope something pops off and they release if they have found him. Now, just because this case goes through court and everything, everybody gets charged. doesn't mean we're anywhere near done until the Department of Human Resources is also held accountable. Because these two precious little children would still be here had they not failed them. So, Kathleen, they have to have evidence. They have evidence of Wendy's involvement through digital, text messages, photos. So they have evidence on Wendy. If John didn't have any of that on his phone, it's going to be hard for them to convict him of anything else. And district attorneys are not going to file charges that they don't think they can win. So, yeah, they were failed big time. Big time failed. So does anybody have any questions? What's going on tonight? So we were talking about the new photos released by ABC 3340 of the property. They flew a drone over. I have a video up with all the photos in it. It's just, these children were failed. Failed miserably. We don't know if they have found Kahleb yet. They have not released that. But I believe they found something. We just don't know what. They just don't keep going back to a property and digging holes if they don't have something. See, like when they were sifting the burn pit, a week later they were back out there shoveling up dirt and put it into trash can to take it off the property and take it to a forensic lab. So they know something. But we're not privy to that information until first they'll notify the family. The family will always be the first one to be notified as to if he was located. And then, of course, the media. But the best way to monitor it is if you go to Alabama Law Enforcement Agency's Facebook page, if you see his alert showed up saying canceled, that means he was found. Or if they do a press conference. So the grandfather's in jail. The grandmother lives in Louisiana. Yes, they do. So that you'd have to reach out to Carly. She's got the video or the bracelets. So Asia, so I'll address that comment. So when family members reached out about the children, they were told that Kahleb was over at a family friend's house. And when friends reached out to the family, they were told that Kahleb was at family's house. So I don't know if Steven's parents were still alive. I don't know that. We know Stephen's family members have been advocating for these children. But I have spoken to multiple family members, and except for one of them, was shocked about what happened. Hey, Lisa. So the date was in July. Southern. So, Olivia, they would notify, unfortunately, Mom and Grandpa first. Unfortunately, they don't deserve to know. We don't know if Stephen's parents are alive, Mary. I've spoken with some of Stephen's family members, though. And I've spoken with some of Wendy's family. So do I, Queen. So do I. And see, I don't know if you guys heard the whole video, but Kahleb was stored in an outside shed for some time before he was taken off the property or taken and discarded. It is. It's a very sad story. These children were failed. And failed miserably. So, Southern, it was a trash bag. It was a black bag. So, for those who want to know the whole story, my top 3 pinned videos has the whole story. So she's already been located. She was involved in the accident. They're looking for his remains. So no, Pineapple, we don't know if it's been placed in a container. Susan, no. They brought dogs out there. If Kahleb was in that shed, they would have found him. Or those dogs that know what they're doing. One of the two. Bailey can. Okay, so if he was in a container with something to throw off the scent, would it throw off the scent?
No, at that point it would be just there's no way you could cover up that much. And here's the thing. 9 times out of 10 people they're not. If they were smart enough to think that far ahead to try, they don't know what to use to even remotely try, if that makes sense.
Right.
And usually in this, I mean, and you've seen it too, I've seen it, is in this type of scenario, they are not thinking that far ahead.
No. Now, he did have enough time to dispose of Hey Bree, can you type Robert Henderson in our chat? Okay, so Caroline, I'll address that. So the way it works is they notify the next of kin. Unfortunately, the grandfather was the guardian, so they would have to notify him. And the mother is the biological mother, so they would have to notify her. Yes, so even with her charges, yes, Queen. Yep, even with her charges. But the way they would do it with her is they would do it in a way such as like an interrogation. And see, we don't even know if she didn't talk. We don't know if he didn't talk. A lot's going to come out when court happens, February 11th. We will know a lot more as to the evidence when that happens. I just hope this precious child is located and is able to be laid to rest. Because neither one of these children deserve what they went through. Neither one. But guys, that does not mean we let up on the Department of Human Resources. Because they're just as to blame as anybody else. And like I said, spring break comes rolling around and they still haven't done anything. Someone's going to be taking a road trip to the governor's office. I won't mention who. Because this is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And see, I don't like putting politics into anything, but if we don't get them held accountable soon, it's never going to happen. Because there's a lot of things that are being put in place that shouldn't be put in place. Nobody's gotten a answer from the governor. Nobody. in the past, 2 weeks, I would say, I'll have to look at the receipts, but I think I sent roughly about 20 pages in fax messages a day for the past 2 weeks. Caroline, it's true. It really is. Now, for those who are new in here, I am generally live every day unless something happens at 6 p.m. Central Time. And we normally go till probably 7:30. That way I can get my little one situated. Now, if an Amber Alert goes off, it doesn't matter what time of day. We do automatically jump on a live stream for that. It doesn't matter what's going on anywhere. I'll automatically jump on a live stream to get an alert out. So, Susan, I don't disagree with you. I don't agree with the fact that these children were allowed to live in that household while the grandfather had guardianship. I don't feel that was the right thing to do. Because I'm telling you right now, had the Department of Human Resources, or even if it was the judge that ordered the guardianship, they were wrong. They put these children in harm's way with a convicted violent offender. And this is the outcome. And it's not the only child. These are not the only children that have been failed that way. We found 11 other articles. So, BBB, my story or these children's story? My story is totally different from these ones. These are not my children. We advocate for missing children. Hang on, I just got a message. Hi, Kim from Ohio. Yes, Tress. Hang on.
Tress, they most likely did know that they were all living together.
Oh, they definitely knew they were living together. Any update on the baby? The only thing new that happened today is ABC 3340 News flew a drone over the property and gathered some rather eye-opening photos of multiple holes dug on the property. Now, guys, while we're here, we need to address something. TikTok is not guaranteed. So all of my profiles, all of my social media accounts are in my link tree, because after the 70-day mark, we don't know what the outcome for TikTok is going to be. I've got all of those are in my link tree. Yes, the holes were from when the cops were digging, correct. What's up, Cedar? Dang, Ash still can't get on TikTok. Hang on. Happy? It depends. Depends on what I need to do. Live streaming's either going to be, if TikTok goes away, it's either going to be on favorited or YouTube. My videos automatically go to Scoops. They will go to YouTube. They will go to Fanbase. They will go to all of the accounts that I can post a video on. Hang on. So what's today's? Is today Tuesday, Wednesday, what? Wednesday? Oh, so today's Tuesday? Oh, Friday. You know these people are gonna strangle me if I keep messing with them. January 22nd. Oh, so it's Thursday in UK? Whose case? Hang on. Dang, I just got a message on Instagram. Somebody's being charged with murder. Give me a second. Oh wow. So who in here's been following me since Maya Rudd? All four family members have been indicted and charged with murder today for the disappearance and the death of Maya Rudd. Yep. Mom, dad, and the grandparents, correct. No, the grandma, no. The person that was living with them, not, it was the mom, or the mom, dad, grandfather, and the other person that was living with them. Took them long enough. They must have gathered, they had to have gotten a lot of evidence. Now, if y'all don't know about that case hit hard. No, it's an old case that we covered. So, that's the case. Okay, so I was invited to do TikTok Superstars, right? And it's been a long time since it happened. But she was a missing child out of Kentucky, and they didn't activate an Amber Alert. But this happened in Owensboro, Kentucky. But we were able to not only put together a wish list, we were able to raise over $2,000 to help cover the funeral expenses. That case, that was a hard case. That was a very hard case.
So, mom, dad, grandpa, and rug dealer?
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't open the article, so she sent me a screenshot. Yes, it was similar to this one. Nikki just found it. Yes, Nikki. Tesla, Cage, Ricky, and Brody. Correct. Maya was 8 months old. I don't know if I still have her photo. No. It's stored on my computer. I can't get to it though. Maya Rudd, yep. It's been a long time.
Wasn't that August-ish?
It was during the summer. Have they found this baby? No. Not that they have released. June, there you go. Here, I'll play it. Hang on.
Tonight with breaking news, an update on the investigation into the death of 8-month-old Maya Rudd. 4 people have now been indicted on charges for the baby's murder. Our Liz DeSantis joins us now in studio with those details. Liz?
Well, an Ohio County grand jury indicted these 4 individuals in connection with the murder of baby Maya Rudd. Tesla Tucker and Cage Rudd, the 8-month-old's parents, are now facing murder and 3 counts of criminal abuse of a child. In addition, Maya's grandfather, Ricky Smith, and a 4th individual, Brody Payne, are facing the same charges. Now, a multi-agency search for the baby lasted for weeks this past summer. It came to an end as law enforcement discovered Maya's decomposing body under debris inside the family's Reynolds Station home back in June. Now, troopers say the home was in deplorable condition with drugs in plain sight. At the time, Maya's body was sent for an autopsy. Officials tell us they now know the baby's cause of death, but they aren't ready to release the cause at this time. Tesla Tucker, Cage Rudd, Brody Payne, and Ricky Smith are all already in jail. They were already facing charges of tampering with a corpse, failure to notify of a death, drug trafficking in marijuana and methamphetamine, and evidence tampering. Brody Payne is set to be in court tomorrow. He'll make an appearance for his arraignment at 9 a.m., and all 4 are set to appear in court on February 4th at 10 a.m.
Yep. Very similar. See, a lot of people don't realize. I know we're not supposed to do this, but when we get, is Ash in here finally? She's been trying to get in. We get attached to these children cases. And when outcomes like this, oh, she can't get in, Mandy. This here's baby Maya Rudd.
What's really sad about that one is that's a newborn picture. That baby was 8 months old.
This was the only photo of this child. I want to know what the COD is now. It's going to make me mad. I know it's going to make me mad because they don't want to release it. He has not been found that we know of yet, Melissa. Law enforcement has not released it. Never will I be able to understand how parents or anybody can harm a child. But it seems like it's become a regular thing. It's become a regular thing since last year. Well, I just got a warning because I showed that news story. But it's alright. They took long enough to give me the warning because we're getting ready to get off anyway, so the warning will go away. Yeah, you're not allowed to show news stories on TikTok anymore. Even when you post photos of news articles, you got to crop out the news agency. But all right, y'all. I am gonna jump off. What time are you going live, Bailey? And you can't say you're not because I got photographic proof in Discord.
She said 9.
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
So the poll is it on here or is it on the Crab Shack?
I wouldn't do it on here, so we know you ain't gonna get a violation over there. You do it over here, you'll get a violation.
What you trying to say?
We can't keep.
Listen, Bailey. We know what Bailey After Dark is.
Listen, Linda. This is true. This is true. We'll do the Crab Shack and then I'll think about bringing it over here one night a week. Bree, what's your consensus?
I'm good with either.
Okay.
I'm absolutely no help, but I'm good with either.
Nick came up in our chat. He came up with a good thing. He was like, bring it to TT, like one night a week, and then the rest of the time keep it on topic, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Bombshell. Explain to Bailey what happens to accounts when you go past PG.
Okay, well, Crab Shack it is.
You like your TikTok account, right?
Yeah.
They'll take it from you.
We could be clean Bailey after dark.
There
Yes.
ain't no such thing.
There
there
is
is.
too.
Bullshit.
I could call some BS on you too, sir.
Chrissy, yes. To answer your question, yes. What did he had to pause to hide his face?
Uh-huh. I saw that. You saw that.
Uh-huh.
Actually, no. For your info, I got you got 20% left on your battery notification.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. That's what it was.
Here, I'll show you.
B. Bree
Listen. No
Bree
cameras
is
tonight.
up front and center.
No.
See, Miranda? See, Miranda's my girl. I don't know which live you popped in on, so
Nikki.
we gotta have our fun rando box. See, we can do randos on TT too. Okay, let's do Crab Shack tonight. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll continue our discussion on our thread about bringing it over here.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Just don't say I didn't warn you.
Hey, we don't need your negative energy and vibes. And don't
No.
be talking anything into fruition.
Exactly.
So, Bailey,
Uh-oh, hold on.
my focus is protecting your account because you need it over here.
I'm not going to lie and debate that.
No,
You're right.
why? I would make sure that if Bailey did it over here, we keep it clean. Plain and simple.
Listen, you guys couldn't keep it clean on my own live stream.
That was different.
No, it ain't no different.
Yes, it was, because that was the last day of TikTok. That's different.
Yeah, I kind of let it loose on the last night of TT.
We all did.
Yeah, we all did.
So that means now we keep it clean over on this side.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I did keep it going. I didn't say I wasn't a part of it. Never once did I say I wasn't a part of that. But I got a TikTok agent, so I can fight my appeals.
All I'm saying is anything on the TT is scrubbed clean. Keep it that way. Plain and simple. That goes for everybody, because everybody needs their accounts.
And
So Bailey after dusk on TT, Bailey after dark on Crab Shack.
so also, real quick, if anybody has an iPhone, you need to turn off automatic updates. Do not update your iPhone. You will lose your TikTok account. You will lose the TikTok app. It will not work. And you go to general settings and account settings and turn off updates. They tried giving me one today, and I was like, nope, hey, nope. I'm not approving it.
So is that just iPhone or Android?
As far as I know, it's only with iPhones. Android, you've got to approve updates. I don't know if you'll lose it.
So on my Android, I have to approve my actual phone updates, but
That's
my
what I'm talking
about. My app store does auto update.
No, I'm talking about your phone updates.
Oh yeah, I scheduled that and stuff.
You'll want to turn that off, at least on your iPhone. I don't know what, I would turn it off on both, because I don't know what would happen with Android. I only know about iPhones. So, Snake, you're lucky. There's a lot of creators talking about it. You're very lucky. I ain't risking my app. They can wait to update my phone until the ban is completely lifted and TikTok is back in the App Store. Until
What
then,
about security updates? Do you think those ones should be turned off too, Dan?
what?
Because if you go to software update and you go to automatic updates, it says security responses and system files.
I turn off any updates off. Because they didn't specify which one, they just said turn automatic updates off.
Gotcha.
For your phones, your device updates. Whether they're right or wrong, it's not worth it for me to risk because as of right now, I know 33 people now that can't get on TikTok without going through your desktop on your computer.
No, I'm with you. I'd rather keep it and not have the update than not be able to use it. No, it's not in the App Store.
You cannot download TikTok anywhere.
There are no ByteDance. Wait, is that true? Is that right? There's no ByteDance apps?
Yep, CapCut's not in there. Lemonade's not in there. TikTok's not in there, and a few of the games. See, my problem is, what is the point of stopping the ban if you're going to keep it out of the App Store and make it to where people can't update? If we can't update, this app is going to go, it's going to go away on its own. It's going to start glitching and not working. People can't even renew their subscriptions. They can't purchase gifts if they want to gift somebody unless you go online. But you can't renew subscriptions.
Nope. Well, that one lady, what was her name? Tiffany?
Yeah.
I caught the end of one of her lives and she said that it should be back in the App Store, but we ain't seen it yet.
Christy, I know I was in there. I was in there during that whole interview. But none of them can answer the question as to when is it going to be back in the App Store. Because nobody has that answer.
Right.
Nobody has that answer. And think about it. What if TikTok decides they don't want to sell 50% of their platform? Then it's gone. Again. But, alright, kiddos. I am jumping off. Y'all don't have too much fun. Let's hope something comes of this. We will be live again tomorrow. It'll be 6 p.m. Central unless something happens during the daytime. The Zoom tight.
Bless you.
Sorry.
That was the cutest sneeze ever.
It's you. Oh, Lord.
She's already getting ready for the 9 p.m. Crab Shack.
Okay,
Wrong.
hang on. Before I jump off, anybody notice that sneezing almost sounds like you're saying bless you?
What?
Bless you.
I guess.
And crickets.
So you guys want to see something funny?
Oh, Lord.
Do you guys want to see something really funny?